Hey, what? We're doing it. This is really, really cool. Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos Martinez, as you can see. I'm super excited about tonight for a bunch of reasons. One of them is just because I've got a person that we're going to be interviewing tonight that is... He's just a really neat dude, and I've connected with something that he does every week, a live stream that he does every week, and I'm really excited to kind of platform him, and he's really excited to platform me because this is my first public live stream, and I'm really excited about it. I've got a lot of friends that I've invited here tonight, and other people who are outside of my friend network are here for a purpose. That you may not know, but I want us to learn something tonight, and I'm hoping we're going to walk away with something really good, a really strong takeaway. So I'm Carlos Martinez. For some of you know that I'm a licensed clinician here in California, in Pasadena. If some of you know where Pasadena is, that's, if you know where the Rose Bowl is, if you know where the Rose Parade goes through, I'm right there. In fact, I'm on the street where the Rose Parade goes through. I'm right there. If you watch the Rose Parade, you watch close, I wave to you because my office is right on the Rose Parade route. So, we are going to talk some tonight about, a little bit of the deeper side of a personality, a content creator that we have here on YouTube. And that's what I do for a living. Okay, I have my private practice. I work with couples. I work with individuals that are struggling with different kinds of stuff. I typically work with anxiety and depression and other issues as well. You can find out more about that stuff in the description. But tonight, I want to have fun. Just want to have a lot of fun. And I was telling my guests this too. Just the reason I so enjoy him is because there's like this innate positivity, this innate optimism in Peter's, in his life. I mean, that's just kind of what he does. And so every Friday night for the last year, and he's been doing this a lot longer than that. I mean, I go back to like 14 years and I find some of his videos, but he's been live streaming for a long time. I just connected with him about a year ago. And so I want to say something before we bring him on, and I can have him introduce himself to you, but I want to just say, I asked him about a week and a half ago if he would be my first guest, my first ever live stream, if he would be that person. And he said yes. And the reason I asked him was because I wanted him to be my launch. I wanted this positive person, this optimistic person to be part of my launch. And when I say positive, I mean like this isn't a put on. This isn't, him trying to be somebody who he isn't. He really isn't. He's been doing this live stream every Friday for years, and he does this in an incredible location in his home, and you're going to see that in a sec. But reason I wanted to bring him on tonight was because I think we all have something to gain from him, and I've learned something from him. I've never met this person, face to face, you can believe, but I've spoken to him, and we've had deep conversations, and I've really enjoyed them. So that's it, okay? I'm going to stop right there because you're probably falling asleep. I need to shut up now, and I need to bring on our guest. And so let's all welcome Peter Gregg.
Hey, Carlos.
What? Standing ovation. Standing ovation.
I'm blushing. Oh, my God. Makeup, aisle 2. I can't wait to see this guest you got coming on. He sounds awesome. Maybe I'll learn something.
You just might. So, Peter, tell us a little bit about yourself to start. I mean, this right here, if everybody's looking here, I want you just to see that's a very special room. Look at that.
Let's see if I can make that a little wider for you.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay,
so
this is
there
the
you
Sony.
go. There you go.
Okay, so this would be the wide, more dramatic view. It also makes me look wider, too.
There you go.
Low carbs. That's
Low
the
carbs.
secret
That's
to
right.
getting rid of the belly.
Hey, you've been on the keto
me.
now. You've been on the keto now for a
me.
bit. Yes. So, Peter, tell us a little bit about this. I mean, just, you've been on YouTube a long time. You have a live channel, which is the one that I'm tuning into every Friday, and usually with a cookie, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Those special cookies.
And M&Ms.
But Peter, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've done, and how you got here today. Share with us a little.
Well, the newest thing that I've done is I'm on this maiden voyage live show that Carlos is doing. I am so nervous. I'm sweating bullets. It's amazing. But look at how many people we got in here, Carlos. Look, I see a bunch of people in the chat. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So hello to everybody, okay, just so you know. Carlos is one of the warmest people. Sometimes I call him Oscar. Sometimes I call him Carlos. That's an inside joke.
I don't know if I should be offended by that. I don't know if I should be.
No.
Okay.
You handled it beautifully.
Yeah,
I mean, a week ago or longer, I spoke with Carlos on the phone for the first time. And during the telephone call, this is when you put your best foot forward, right? You want the other guy to think, hey, I'm pretty cool, okay? I started calling him Oscar. What the heck is with that? Okay, I think I need some kind of mental tuning or something. So what was your question anyway? I just kind of launched without you.
Well, and that's what's going to happen tonight. You're going to launch. Peter likes to launch. That's his thing. He likes to launch. I'm going to help keep you grounded, okay? Let's not do full launch.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay? Let's keep you on the launching pad. Keep you there for a little bit.
Okay.
But
let me just wait one second.
Go ahead.
There's a psychiatrist in the house, so everybody behave. Psychologist, I mean.
Oh, man.
A shrink.
A shrink. Oh, man. There you go. I'm seeing some people here, by the way. Yeah, I'm seeing some people here.
Ask me the question again. I got so excited talking to you and seeing the people in the chat. We got some people here with us.
We do.
I'm surprised. I'm glad. Oh, my God.
Yep. Yeah,
I guess you're popular.
Well, I mean, there's, when you're seeing, like, I don't know, a couple of these. I mean, here's my buddy. This is my pal right here. And let's see if this comes in okay. There you go. This one says, I saved a Peter Gregg cookie just for tonight so I can eat it during the live stream. He even has your cookies. Where are your cookies going? They're going all over the world or the country. What's going on?
I have been trying to sell stuff, okay? So getting into a little bit of business here, but not too serious. Yeah. The flow or the rhythm of YouTube goes something like this. A person wants to be a YouTuber, and they finally get up on YouTube, and it's like they're marveling at themselves. Oh, my God, I'm live. I'm live. I'm making a YouTube show. I'm famous, okay? And they get 5 views, and they think I have hit the big time, okay?
Right.
So at first, it's the excitement of actually seeing yourself on the tube.
Oof.
Used to be a television. Now it encompasses television and YouTube and all the rest of them, okay? And almost knocked my water over here. Okay, so then after that, you start to pay attention to how many viewers I have, how many subscribers do I have. I've been doing this for a month now, okay? So I've been watching. I just had a young man. He's 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
He's in college in the Virginia area. I'm not going to focus in too much because of confidentiality issues.
Right.
Okay, so he decided I want to be a YouTuber. So the first thing he did was he tried to reach out to me, and I hand select different people that I think I can help and get along with, and he was one of them. Okay. So the very first question he asked was, what camera do I buy? Okay.
Of course.
So he didn't buy the camera I told him what to buy.
Yeah.
He bought something else, okay? But it was the second camera on my list. Okay, so I do have a point to my yapping here.
Yeah,
okay?
why don't you get to it?
Okay, he's keeping me in line. Okay, so this young man went for a month and stopped because it never grew.
Oh.
Okay, so
okay.
what happens is you reach a climax, and then you get disheartened.
Yeah, I get that.
And after
sure.
you get disheartened, you start looking at the possibilities of the money. So it's the cookies that brought all this in, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have tried to sell my products. I have tried to sell consultations. I have tried to sell different things, even my music. The one thing that I decided I wasn't going to sell, but Mr. Camera Junkie urged me to put it up on my website, is the item that is selling, and that is cookies.
Cookies.
So
oh, wow. That was Mr. Cameron. That
They're
was
actually being
Lewis.
mentioned right here.
Yep.
Okay? I can't believe it.
Yep.
You know?
They're here. I mean, India's here. Mr. Cameron Joy Lewis is here. You know, oh, man. We have Stressed Out, Stress Free. So this, I don't know who
I
that
like
is.
that name.
I love that, though. Right?
Yes.
So, and somebody
Stressed
also
out,
saying that they
You'll
love
be
my
fine,
room, too.
Don't worry.
Somebody's saying my room is okay, too. Thank you. I needed that
your
affirmation.
room is marvelous.
I needed that affirmation. There's all my books back there.
Oh,
you know.
I love your room. Yes. We could trade rooms anytime you want.
So, Peter,
Yeah.
when we talked, something that everybody knows you from your videos and your live stream and your personality, and that's what I really wanted to kind of get a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about is, for instance, I don't know if you can go to your intro. Could you do that? Could you go back to your intro by any chance? To the Peter Gregg intro? So we can hear
Something Warm Human.
Yes. I don't know if
I
you can do
don't know
that.
if I could do that. Okay, so you keep talking and
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
looking.
Yep. Because there are some things that, you know, some people may know, but some people may not know. Especially a lot of people in here that are my supporters. They may not know, and when they do find your YouTube channel and they listen to this, they might think, oh, that's a really interesting sound right there. You know, that's like it's a really professional intro, like the voice. And I don't know. By the way, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know. Who
I
the
paid
voice
for
is.
it. And the guy's name is Ricky. He's an announcer in the Netherlands, Switzerland, or something to that effect.
Yeah, it sounds marvelous, and that's. I mean, I want that. I want that guy. So.
I found him on Fiverr. His name
Oh.
is Here's Ricky.
Okay. That's
Now
very cool.
you might have to. I'm not finding the intro.
Okay. Well, if you find it, cool. But here's some of the other stuff, Peter, that I wanted to get down to, and that was just. I'd love to hear a little bit about where you started, because you are, you know, I think you're a retired wedding photographer, videographer, correct? Am I right? Yes. And you've shared that. And I'd love to hear just a little bit more of that. Like, what has, you know, where did you always do that where you are right now? What was your experience in that vocation? Tell us a little bit about that.
Do you want me to run the intro? I just found it.
Oh, run it. So check this out. This is what you're going to hear when you get to...
I don't know how it's going to come across, but let's see what happens.
All right, let's see. Hit it. Oh, I don't know if you're going to get it or not. You may not. If somebody knows...
Are you seeing it?
I'm seeing it. I don't think everybody was able to hear how good it was, though. So, and I don't know how to... Somebody may know how to bring that sound through. I don't know. But that's it. And you could barely hear it. But you could hear it. So we'll have to figure that out. But that is so cool.
We'll play with that later.
I love it. But tell us a little about your history, Peter. A little bit about how you got involved in this industry. You know, the camera industry. You know, the wedding photography industry and all that. I'd love to hear a little of that from you.
Okay.
Yep.
I was born in New York, and
I
my
didn't
parents
know that.
were. Yep.
Okay.
My parents were. My dad had a flower business. My mother is a professional photographer, and I did my best to be a child. Okay. So things were going on, so I'm exposed to both of those businesses intimately. Okay, I can step in and work in either one at the drop of a dime. Okay. But boys and their toys, when I got to be around 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, I was told, don't touch your mother's cameras.
Oh.
Well,
okay. So you didn't
Guess
touch your
what I
mother's
did?
cameras. That's right.
I didn't touch my mother's camera. I touched all the cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, oh,
Uh-huh.
you got a haircut? No, I got them all cut, you know. So I started playing with the cameras. My dad is a very strict disciplinarian. We got the belt, okay, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
We're talking about the 50s now, all right? But it did good, and it wasn't over. I don't think I got hit more than 4 or 5 times in my whole life, so it wasn't like they wanted to beat the crap out of me, okay? So instead of punishing me, they put me to work.
Okay.
So I became, little by little, I started carrying my mother's cameras, and I left the shop or the business where my dad was and went with my mother when she was doing a wedding.
Yeah.
After carrying the cameras, when I got a little bit older, maybe about 13, 14, maybe 14, 15, okay, I kind of became her cameraman.
Okay.
And the photographer part of me was born. So between 14 and 18, I was her cameraman. I would stand here with the camera, ready to shoot, okay? And she would be setting up the bride, setting up the groom. Don't tilt that way. Don't stand this way. Stick your tongue back in your mouth, okay? Get your hand to where they don't belong, young man, that kind of stuff. So she did that, all that type of things. And at 18, I started my own company, Peter Gregg Photography.
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
I had the space because my dad's business was large enough where I was able to put a full-blown studio in it. He just took a section of it. And the wedding photographer career was born. Wow. And that's how, from the, let's say the 70s till now,
Wow.
I've been into photography. I kind of retired around 2009, 10 area.
Okay.
Maybe even 11. Okay, and after that, I had personal problems, which were called anxiety. Okay.
Okay.
And that kept me at home, and that got me depressed. Okay.
Okay.
So I got a Christian faith. Everybody's got their own faith system. So I kept praying to God, fix me, fix me, fix me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And God didn't answer. I was getting the silent treatment. Poor Carlos wants to get a word in edgewise here.
No, I do not.
He's ready to.
No,
oh, okay.
I'm not. I want to hear more from you. Keep going. It's good, Peter.
Okay.
It's interesting.
So one day I did get an answer to prayer, and it wasn't like a voice coming out of heaven, but it was something that happened inside of me, and I knew it was God. Okay. And he said, don't pay attention to what you cannot do. Look at what you can do.
Oh, wow.
And that's how my YouTube career started, because right here from my bedroom, although this is not a bedroom, this is an office, the Christmas room, I'm able to reach the entire world. I don't have to go anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm depressed or if I'm happy. When I turn on the camera, I'm dealing with people, and many of these people have the same feelings, hurts, and stuff that I have. And that's how I treat them when I get in front of a camera. I don't treat them like I'm a smart aleck, let's use a good word here, okay? I actually treat them like, what if you were really my friend? Okay? So, and I speak to them like that. I get corrected for that. You know, why do you talk to us like we're children? Well, one of my first YouTube videos, I made it, I was so serious. And I got like, I'm over exaggerating, like 1 million questions. And I was overwhelmed. So I'm in the habit of sharing things with my dad, so I did. And he says, pretend like you're talking to your grandmother next time and see what happens.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm talking to my grandmother all the time. And hopefully everybody else can catch on, okay? Those that get offended by it, I don't know how to deal with that. I've been doing that so long. It's just become part of who I am now. Okay, so if you have any advice on that, you can go ahead and hit me with it.
Yep. So here, I want to mention something really quick, because you said something really interesting that stood out to me. And by the way, when I'm taking notes right now, when I'm looking down, I'm taking notes. This feels like I'm in a session right now. It almost like I got my notepad here and I'm taking notes. So you said, and this is, like, I think, again, why there might be this innate, optimism about you, Peter. And I get it. There's some things that you've struggled with that you just shared, anxiety, depression. But this is what I really, I even share this with my clients, and that is to fill out the other column. The column that you were so used to filling out is the yeah, but column. The yeah, but I can't column, right? And we don't fill out the other column. And there's a person who's watching right now that shared something with me a while back, and it really, really hit me, and that is to bridge the I can't with the and also. So I can't. I don't feel like I can. And also, what can you do? Right? And I heard you just say a second ago that you filled out that other column of the things you can do. Right? And that's, I think, what you just said your mom had you do. Was that right?
At the beginning with don't touch the cameras, and she put me to work there.
Well, you said
or
that...
The part that God said, do what you can do,
That's
and don't
it.
pay attention to what you can't do.
That's it. That's what God was telling me.
That was an answer to prayer.
Yes. So the other
I don't
column...
think my mom is God, but if she is, I repent, Ma.
So, I mean, again, what a cool thing right there. If we would fill out that column more, we would all be better for it, right? If we would just do that. I mean, how did that play into your longevity, Peter? That column of yes, I can. Because I would imagine doing what you did for so long, you must have had some hard days. You must have had some really difficult weddings. You must have had something. Right before I did this, I kid you not, an hour ago, you know what happened an hour ago. This is what happens an hour before a live stream, I would imagine. Everything.
You dropped your camera?
Everything didn't work. Nothing worked.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
Welcome to the world.
So when things didn't work out so well with you, how did you keep going? What kept you in it and kept doing what you've done for so long?
Well, when I heard what I thought was the answer to prayer for me, okay, now there's a lot of people that are even watching that are atheists. They don't believe in anything, okay? And I respect them, no problem.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to hide what I am. I'm not going to become someone else, okay?
Right.
So this is what really happened to me. So God said to look at what you can do, which your psychologist might tell you the same thing. Concentrate on what you can do, and don't concentrate on what you can't do, okay?
Yeah.
So I started looking around. It wasn't like an instant jumping out of the toaster. I'm not a Pop-Tart, and I like the cinnamon flavored ones and the chocolate one with the white on top. Okay, so I didn't pop out of the toaster. It took me a little while to realize that I did have this available to me. I have this knowledge on this side with cameras. I never got into video, to be honest with you. And then on this side, I have what I didn't have when I was a teenager. I played at the school, in the school band. I played at the church. I played where I was hired for things, disc jockeying and stuff. All kids back then were looking for a platform. Now they all got it. It's called YouTube. Anybody can go on YouTube. And even better, you don't even have to go public at the beginning. You could practice.
What?
Make 50 videos and never let anybody know.
I didn't do that. What are you talking about?
You
told
didn't
me.
do that?
What? So
yes, that's.
Let me get to a couple of these, Peter. There's some people in the comments that I want to get to.
Yeah, I see some people that really love you. By the way, Carlos, I love you too, just so you know. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you. By the way, I wanted to bring this one. This is a buddy of mine. Carlos's pork pie hats in his office are to Peter's Christmas trees in his room. So if you can probably see this, there are these, I don't know if you could see them, but they're back here. You can't really see them so well, but there are these pork pie hats. I've got a bunch, and this is just one, but I got a whole bunch of those, and that's what he's talking about. And yes, definitely, if you want to hear, I mean, I've got a link here. I mean, if you want to hear Peter's incredible intro, you're going to want to go plug into his channel. Kelly, awesome, man. Kelly is here, and Kelly is a musician, by the way. This guy is a serious drummer, and I told him about you, Peter. I told him about you. I said, hey, we got a crooner on. You may have some questions. He may even break out in some of his stuff.
When the moon hits your eye like a big piece of pie.
What?
I'm on a diet.
Oh, that's right. We'll talk about that too.
Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Yep,
you look
BC.
wonderful, by the way, Kelly.
This is, he's a stud. And then here's, Mark and Bonnie are here. And of course, good. This is good feedback from Stressed Out, Stress Free. He's saying, yep, that's part of live streaming. See, that's good. I need that. I need that reinforcement, that, yes, that's normal. Thank you for normalizing that for me, Stressed Out, Stress Free. That's very helpful. So, Peter, I want to go back a little bit to what can you give us something? Oh, wait a minute. There is one more here that I have to answer. I started this one and I thought this was really cool. Somebody asked about one of my favorite memories one of my memories of you in the Christmas tree. One of my favorite ones. I'm going to get to that in a second. I got to think because there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of them. But I want to talk about your worst day. There's a lot of people here that have had really, they have days, we all have days where we just want to avoid, we want to check out, we want to, we want to disappear. And we don't want to follow through with responsibilities that we have. And you've had, a pretty long career of needing to show up, suit up and show up for your events. When I think of wedding photography, honestly, it scares the crap out of me. I mean, I'm thinking because it's this person's wedding. I mean, it's like their life. They're going to go back to these pictures for the rest of their life. They're going to be on their, on their mantle forever. And I'm wondering, how did you deal with that kind of pressure? How did you suit up and show up, Peter, for every one of those events?
For the weddings or for the live streams?
For the weddings. Mm-hmm.
So we're going back when I was an active photographer,
yep,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. The weddings, I'm a little bit of a ham. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at the monitor. I'm not being rude by not looking at you guys.
Yes.
I love each and every one of you.
Yep.
Jim Mundy, I see you there. He's one of the people from my group. So I just want to point him out and say his name. So he's the his
man.
few minutes of fame. Jim Mundy, right. Jim Mundy, Jim Mundy. Okay, that's enough, Jim. Okay, so it was like a performance a little bit.
Okay.
When I went to go to a wedding.
Yeah.
And the same thing when I made my videos. The good thing about videos is if they're lousy, you could start over and do them again. But when I did my first live stream, there's no starting over. Okay, you're live, like right now. If I burp, if I sneeze, if I cough, if I slip and say something warm, human, and wonderful, it's there.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it.
So, just you said, a half hour before. My very first live stream was only 3 years ago. I was scared, as they say. I was pooping bricks. All right. I've been on YouTube for 10 or 15 years. Well, I didn't want to say the bad word, so
it's painful.
And then I was going live. And what motivated that was we had just started the coronavirus, and I was watching the whole country of Italy get locked down.
Right.
And somebody strolled out on his balcony, started playing guitar.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Remember that story? That really touched my heart.
Oh, it didn't mean to.
And before you knew it, the whole street and all the buildings, they were all outside singing.
Right.
And I'm going, what are you doing, fat boy?
Oh, yes. Right.
So I decided I'm going to go live. And just make people feel comforted. We could talk about cameras. We could not talk about cameras.
Right.
So the very first night that I went live, I had one camera. It overheated. It knocked me off the air.
No.
It reset my camera when it overheated.
What?
The darn stupid
What?
thing. Okay?
And it was one camera. It wasn't like 12 or 15 like you have now.
It was one single camera, and I got cameras flying out. They say
I
out
know.
of my behind.
Out of your butt.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm trying to be a good boy, Carlos.
So it overheated and it reset.
It reset the camera, so I was like skirmishing to get back on the air.
Okay.
But when I got back on the air, it was blown out. I mean, it got reset.
Oh my God.
That means that for you guys that are not camera people, that means all the settings changed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all the settings changed.
Oh my
which
gosh.
means the color changed, how
Right.
bright it is,
Right.
how in focus it is.
Yeah.
None of that was the way like I'm set up now, nice and happy. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to, I was like trembling.
Yeah.
That was my first night. Okay. Ask me what happened on the second night.
What happened on the second night, Peter? I'm curious. What happened?
Oh my God.
What happened?
Actually, I don't remember, but something almost as major as that. I really, it was
That's
like
great.
the first 3 nights were
Yeah.
major
They were?
catastrophes.
Really? Oh, man.
And this is kind of like you have to deal with yourself mentally.
Okay.
At some
how
point,
did you deal with that? Yeah.
You've got to decide, F it. You know, the heck with it. That's a better way of saying it. Okay. It is
I like
what it
F it
is.
more. I think F it's better.
Yeah, but you know, I told you to help me be good. I don't want to have to go to confession tomorrow morning. Okay.
Okay.
So, I said I don't care. I mean, maybe the whole world is against me. My camera gets knocked out. My audio system got knocked out.
It must be
I
everybody's
mean, it's
against
like,
me.
is this a sign from God? Don't go live streaming. But it went very well.
Okay.
And it took a while to say, things go bad. Take your time.
Okay.
Fix them. It's the same like you do in life. Like when I get depressed, okay, it's a process. Depression for me starts off a little teeny weeny bit. And somehow in my own psyche, I start feeding it.
Okay.
I should be killing it, but I feed it instead.
Okay. How do you feed it? How do you feed
I'm-
it, Peter?
I tell myself all kinds of negative thoughts. I shoot myself from all different kinds of angles. I'm not good enough. My family doesn't think I'm good enough. God probably doesn't like me anymore. Okay, there must have been something. It's a negative rainfall. And I think some people can become professional at doing that. I'm really good at it. Okay? I remember I did something bad in 1984 or 1993, you know, and I'm getting punished for it today,
Yes.
you know.
Right.
Or I just don't have the intelligence. I'm not as good as Carlos or Oscar. I got them both on my case now. I'm not going to be good, and you just start raining on your own parade.
Right.
See, there's two reactions that you can have. You can come out swinging and beat the crap out of everyone else, or you come out swinging and you beat the crap out of yourself.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Did I just spit? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking to a professional clinic grade A counselor, and he's probably laughing inside at me, but that's what goes on with me. And I don't beat up other people. I wind up beating myself up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that helps depression roll deeper and deeper. That's a sliding down, in case you can't tell. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I can actually fall into a pretty good depression. I've done it often enough where
Right.
I'm not bad at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. You know,
and then you have to have tools to get you out of it. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, this is, I mean, thank you, Peter, for being vulnerable, by the way, and sharing that. You know, it's like, that's what I so connected with you about when we talked. I just connected with the person, you know, behind the Christmas room. And I related. And I think that's why we've had such good conversations, because I haven't seen my last worst day. You know, I haven't experienced my last depressing moment. You know, no, and I certainly haven't experienced my last, you know, talk with my backseat drivers. That's what I call those negative thoughts. I call them backseat drivers because they just don't shut up, right? They never shut up. And we just need to learn how to identify when they're talking to us, right? And so we can then make an adjustment, But I can't block them. Not block them out, but I can't shut them down, and stop having that conversation unless I know that they're talking to me, right? And so it's so interesting what you're saying. Like you would have those moments, but you were able to come out of them. What would it be that other column, Peter? Is that what you would use to come out? That column of I can, or like how would you come out of those moments?
The way that I've learned to come out of, let's say, a depressive state or something, is it's not a secret. I'm a Christian, right? Is this like a surprise to everybody? Hello,
Nope.
So the Bible has some tools in it, and one of them is gratefulness, and it actually speaks specifically to your mental state and gratefulness. So I will start on a ring of things that I'm grateful for, and stop talking the negative crap that goes on in my mind and comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I get into a really good, juicy, erotic depression, okay,
that's a good way to put it.
I come all the way down to the point where, okay, God, I want to die now. I want to go to sleep. I don't want to wake up here. I want to wake up in heaven.
Yeah.
So it's a way of surrendering. Okay.
Okay.
And I wake up the next day, I'm still here. Surprise, So I start a routine of gratefulness, things that I normally wouldn't even say thank you. I'm in Miami, so we have hurricanes.
Right.
And we've lived a month or two without electricity. So I'll just start with obvious things. Thank you, Lord, we got electricity today.
Yes.
I don't have to get up in a hot room and sweat like a pig.
Yeah.
And thank you, I got running water, because I saw some commercials on TV where they wanted money because these people don't even have clean water to drink. And yet I go over to the tap. Guess what comes out? Nice, clean water.
Yes.
So I start an act of gratefulness for the stupidest little things. And maybe it won't work for you or for any one of our listeners, but it works for me. It teaches me to be grateful for the things that a lot of other people don't have.
Yes.
Yet we take for granted, and we think this is permission to get depressed, while the kid in Haiti has no food.
Right.
Has they live in a cloth tent.
Yeah.
I live in a house with a roof, with air conditioning, with the front door I can lock. I sleep in a bed that goes up and it goes down when you push a button. The kid in Haiti doesn't have any of that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I sound like I'm preaching now, but it puts things in context for me. It's hey, straighten up and fly right, Peter. Don't be an ass.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so good. That's so good.
Instead of comparing with this kind of a person, let me get in the frame. I compare with a person that is not as blessed or lucky, whatever word you want to use, as I am. And that's not a lie. There are people that are right now dying in the Ukraine.
That's right.
I'm sitting here in an air-conditioned room talking to the world's best psychologist. Okay, so there we go. There are some positive things that are happening right now.
Yeah.
No matter how sad a person feels, anybody that's actually watching, and I see people saying, "Hi, Carlos. We love you, Carlos. I love you, Carlos." So you've got admirers yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So be grateful for them. I feel grateful for the people that come into my show. They're not just another viewer. You know?
Right. So we're going to go, just so everybody knows, we're going to go just 60 minutes. We're going to go an hour. We're not going to go any longer than that, so you know when we end. But I thought about what you just said. Wow. That perspective, right? That is so powerful. And, hey, listen, I think I work with a lot of people who are struggling with stuff like addiction as a counselor. And so when I think that recovering addicts or people who are breaking through deep, destructive kind of compulsive behaviors, they're amazing. They're incredible, right? they literally have changed the chemistry of their brain in order to get to sobriety and do that. That's unbelievable to me. If you speak or if you know a recovering addict who's been sober for years from whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they are a very insightful, connected with self kind of person. They are obviously connected to a higher power, okay, because they're not doing things on their own strength. They're on a whole other level of fulfillment. They're experiencing life with much more fulfillment. They're much more present, right? They are, just living on a different level. And that's because it's their perspective. They were once just in ICU, right? And now they're breathing. I mean, that right there, right, is enough. I mean, there's radical gratitude. There's a couple of people here, Peter, that I want to mention. Here's, Louis, Mr. Camera Junkie. It's all about perspective. Absolutely, right? It is. And it isn't, right? If we're not having perspective, if we have a negative, perspective, if we're feeding it, like you said, Peter, there's an exercise I do with my clients sometimes called red dog, blue dog, and when we feed the red dog, we're feeding a negative perspective, we're feeding something that's going to create that negative or even activate this narrative, this broken narrative that we brought up from childhood, or we're going to feed the blue dog. And the blue dog is that positive self or our original true self, the positive one, the one that at the core in the beginning was wonderful. Nothing could make that little infant or toddler believe that he wasn't. Everything in him was that he was. Everything that she thought in that moment was correct. For instance, that little infant was fully dependent on their caregiver, and nothing can get in the way of that. And that's what I mean about perspective. If that's fed enough, we're going to grow up with a healthier perspective. Stressed out, stress-free does say routine of gratefulness, a routine, right? Not just once in a while. I spoke to somebody the other day who said, I asked them about their gratitude list, and they said, well, I haven't done that in like 6 months. And they're struggling. They're struggling. And I said, well, when you were doing it, it was really awesome. It was working for you. So what do you think you should do? She's like, I guess I better start writing them out again every day. Yes, do it, totally. And then Kelly also said, and Joyce. Kelly, if you could expand on that a little bit, I'd love to hear a little bit more about what your thoughts are around and choice. That would really be helpful. So Peter, you... Just so you know,
Kelly won't hear what you just said for 45 seconds.
Yes.
So
yes,
they'll probably answer you while we're already moved on. So
right.
Just be aware of that from the point of live broadcasting.
Yep, and I can see him as soon as he comes up. I'm gonna put that up. So Peter, now the Christmas room. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes, and I want to ask you a little bit about you shared about 3 years ago. Is when that started in a very interesting way. But this is interesting. If you haven't come and some of you on this live stream right now have been in Peter's room, but many of you haven't. A lot of people that I know haven't. There's something very interesting about this room, and Peter has kept it a safe place. How many of us always talking about, or we're always talking about being in a safe place, connecting with safe people who are creating a safe space for us, right? Peter has done that in this room. Peter, you've really done that well in your room. And that's not only your moderators, that's you. So what has been behind that? How have you kept that room such an encouraging, supportive, and safe room over the years?
I first do want to say I have great moderators.
You do. Yep.
God has blessed me with them. Mm-hmm. At one point, I made everybody a moderator.
Did you?
Anybody bad that came in the room, they were going to get clobbered. So just look at the picture that you're looking at right now. It says a lot subconsciously on purpose. I didn't just like, oh, I love Christmas, okay? But that's true. I do love Christmas, okay? First of all, like I've said a few times, my faith foundation is a Christian one. Other people have different faith foundations, and respect to them. And some people believe I'm it. There is nothing after me, okay?
Yeah.
Respect for that too, okay? I'm not here to be preaching, proselytizing, or anything to that effect. But just look at the picture, okay, and leave that camera angle on. I forgot to turn on this little light, okay?
Turn on your lights, Peter. Come on, man. Get with it.
They are.
Let's go.
Oh,
Let's
I got
go.
one more.
Okay.
I got that one.
Jeez.
You flustered me.
Come on, you're holding out on
I was
us
going to be
here.
on. You flustered me.
You're holding
You
out
made
on you.
me
You're
blush.
holding out. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Keep going.
holding out. So this starts with my basic makeup, okay, which is a lousy way. It's an egotistical way to start, okay. I don't have to say a word, and Christmas is already speaking for me on my behalf, okay. So I don't have to say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, okay, because that'll freak people out. So I could have a whole show and never say anything about Christmas. Okay, the second thing is for, I would say, a large percentage of people, Christmas is a magical time of year. Some people get depressed at Christmas because, again, they're not practicing gratefulness. They are practicing self-centeredness. Christmas shouldn't be like this, it should be like that, okay?
Right.
And then they become like their own moderator for the whole world. But the Christmas room is a safe place. On Christmas morning, when you're going to give your brother or your best friend or your mother or your dad a present, you're not going to get into arguments on politics and religion and about what you had for dinner last night. And you're going to, I got something for you, okay? It's a special moment. And the other person that's receiving this gift is like, oh, a present for me. Happy moments, mentally. Endorphins and whatever else, dopamine and all that good stuff
the dopamine
is running on Christmas morning. Okay? So that's what I've created here. A happy space like it would be Christmas morning or Christmas Eve. A lot of people open their presents and have their family time at Christmas Eve. Okay?
Right.
And if it doesn't go there, it doesn't go on in my show. Okay? So that's the basic premise. So if I ban people, which I do, it's because they're picking on my chicken neck. I know it's there. I've been looking at it every
Save the beard,
morning
baby.
for the
Save
last
the beard.
40 years. I know. Carlos is pushing on the beard because it's kind of like hides my chicken neck.
60 more days. I'm just saying. 60 more days.
So
keep at it.
The reality is, if it doesn't go in on a Christmas morning, that kind of a feeling, that feel good, the whole world is electric that morning, then it's not going to be on my channel or with me. I don't even have to be on my channel. Okay, I'm not on my channel now. All right, so I can get down into any kind of conversation. But it needs to stay without the clobbering. All right, because I do mentor a lot of young people, and a lot of church people have what they call clobber scriptures. I know this verse that says, if you do that, you are going to hell.
That's right.
That's a clobber scripture. We don't clobber each other with scriptures. We don't clobber each other with our I think this, or the world should be like that.
That's right.
Okay, so clobber scriptures and clobber self-centered thoughts need to get washed away with the Clorox.
Good, really good point. We have Kelly, who I want to bring back up here. He says, we always have a choice to where we put our thoughts, right? Feelings aren't facts. Such a good point right there, Kelly. So we have to choose with action where we want to be. You know, we get feelings confused with facts, right? We don't, I mean, if I feel alone, it doesn't mean that I am alone, you know? And if but I mean, that's like almost, somebody who might feel really depressed, you might really feel like you're alone, but the facts are so important that there are people that love you, right? And so that's a really good one, Kelly, and by the way, Kelly wants to say thank you as well for sharing your choosing story, Peter, because that's really powerful. I mean, just the way that you have been able to come through and all that, all the years, Peter, the last few years. I mean, that's how I found your room. I found your room during the pandemic, and it was there were some people who pointed me in your direction, and I thought, who's this guy? What are you talking about? Chris's room guy? What is that about? I got better things to do with my time. Okay, and
Right?
I do, and then I checked in one night, and I'm going, huh? But I never told you this, Peter. I'm gonna tell you, the first night that I visited your live stream, I kid you not, you were on for 4 hours. Do you remember that night?
I remember there was a few long ones.
There
4
was
hours,
a
5
4,
hours.
and you don't do that, but that was the first one that I tuned into, the 4-hour stream. And guess what? I stayed the whole time. I stayed
Oh
the
my
whole
God.
time. I did. It went
That was the
late.
day you didn't take your meds.
That's it. That was it. I knew it. It was my meds. Dang. But thank God I forgot, because I was on with you the whole time, and I'm just
Thank
thinking
you,
to myself, I'm just thinking, what is he doing? It's just unbelievable. But it was such a magnetic night. Everybody was really engaging throughout the chat. People were having such an awesome time together and connecting. And and Chris even remembers this, by the way. He says, I remember that day, Carlos. I said, you've got to check out this amazing channel. It was him. It was Chris. And Joe, check out his channel, Chris in Progress. I'll put that in the description too. Chris told me, about you, and I'm just, and I didn't realize that was going to turn into a 4-hour commitment. Thanks a lot, Peter. But it was,
No problem.
it was, my indoctrination. I guess I needed 4 hours. God knew I needed 4 hours, I guess, right? In order to...
Yeah. That's pretty bad when you need 4 hours of Peter.
That's the worst. I mean, God obviously knows, how much I need. He didn't say an hour's not going to be enough, Carlos. You're going to need 4. And that was just that, again, that it was a safe place. It was a happy room. It was a joyful room where people were connecting, supporting, encouraging, inspiring. And you were, this is the thing. And I remember I said this in my very first live stream, and you really connected with it. And it was that I feel a sense of belonging. I think there's a sense of belonging in this room. And that's rare. That's rare. You have to be in a place where people continue to show up and they're safe people over and over again, right? And you'll begin to feel that way. People, and when I mean safe people, I mean they're not like you just said, right? They're not judgmental. They're not being critical. They're not fixers, analyzers, or advisors. They're actually, they want to come alongside you. And I see people in your Christmas room every Friday night. Everybody's coming alongside each other. I mean, I have Mr. Camera Junkie here helping me out. What a deal! I mean, it's like I never thought that this community was so supportive. Your community, and that community has been really supportive for me. So,
And they're very solid, reliable men and women of high integrity.
Right.
You've got Mr. Camera Junkie, Lewis. Lewis has been to the house, my house here, with his son Aiden.
Yes.
He's actually trusted me with his little boy while he went to the restroom. And I'm going like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. What do I do? Children are the best thing in the world.
Yep.
You've got Jim Mundy. Yep. Jim Mundy is, I would put him in charge of my show at any moment, at any time.
Yep, and he says he found you through Tom Buck as well. So everybody finds you from Tom Buck.
Tom Buck.
That's right.
Tom Buck has been watching me for years, which is shocking because he's smarter than, I'm not looking for compliments or pat on the back, but Tom is smarter than me. He handles people better than I do. He's very eloquent. He's much younger. I've got a little bit of a thing about my age and not being relevant. That's my own thing I have to fight, mental thing that I have to fight. It's like I'm too old. People are not going to relate to me.
Yeah.
So, and yet Tom Buck is watching me.
Right.
What?
Right.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think, in closing, I think this is so true. I think the reason why some of the younger guys might watch too, Peter, is I really do think there is a hope that they're connecting with through you. When you do share and you're vulnerable, In fact, Mr. Camera Junkie did this, I don't know, I want to say 4 or 5 nights ago. He was on with the India Elgato, and he got really vulnerable, and it was amazing. It was incredible to hear the person, behind, all of the stuff that he does. And it was encouraging, inspiring. It was relatable. And I think that's why, you have years of experience, but I think it's also because of the hope that, is coming off of you and it's touching the rest of us, Peter. So that's why I wanted to bring you on tonight. I wanted people just to know, in my very first live stream, I wanted to interview somebody that
Poor Carlos.
Yeah, I know. Peter, what?
He got stuck with me.
I know. I got stuck with you.
This Peter guy won't shut his mouth.
Yes.
And he can't get a word in edgewise.
What I want to say.
Looking at the clock. I could see him.
You saw me looking up there, right?
I saw you look.
I forgot. I wanted one of your cookies. I was gonna do from my camera up here, right? my vertical. I wanted to show a picture of your cookie on the way out today, and because I do it exactly like you said. I get the cookie. By the way, Peter is amazing cookies he makes. You can never eat a whole cookie in one sitting. Believe me. It's like eating that giant steak for the prize. There's no way you're going to do it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
Exactly. But they are so good. And they come vacuum packed, and you got to put them in the boiling water for about 10 minutes, right? You boil the water, then put the cookie in, let them sit for 10 minutes. They're serious. I'm just saying. And I wanted to get one for him tonight, but I totally forgot. I have a handful left still. So.
Do you really?
I do.
Cool.
I did what you said. I have them in the freezer.
It's not your grandfather's cookie, as the beer commercial used to say.
Nope. These are different. So, Peter, thanks for doing this with me tonight. It's, and we're going to do it again, like we said. We're going to, it's like this is a first time, and I just so appreciate you being available, being accessible for me. What I'm going to start doing, just so that everybody will know on this stream, is I'm going to start doing something every Sunday night. I want to give back, and so I'm going to start doing some psychoeducational Sunday evenings. Okay, and the reason I chose Sunday evenings is because that's the first day before Monday. And a lot of us are starting to feel some anxiety around Mondays. It's like that's the beginning of the week. Our engines are getting revved up, we're getting ready to go. You know what? Let's do some chill work on Sunday night, okay? There's some stuff that we can do to get us ready for the week. Maybe we can pick up some tools, so that our week starts off in the most effective way, so we can be a better version of ourselves for the week, right? So that's kind of what we're going to do, all right? Anything else, Peter?
I don't know if you're going to remember.
What?
But since this is your first show,
yeah.
If there's people that are lurking here,
yep.
Carlos is trying to build this up, so subscribe. Okay.
Yes.
We're live right now, which means the thumbs up right now is going to be like a positive thing for Carlos. Okay, it's like a tap on the back. YouTube is not even going to pay attention to it. So even if you're lurking and you don't want to say something, click the thumbs up.
Yes.
Because it actually is feedback. Well, it's not for me this time, but it's for Carlos.
Yeah.
And if you don't like calling him Carlos, call him Oscar. Okay. Obviously, I've got him baptized in that already, so you're not going to get him mad anymore.
Yes.
See, he's letting his active aggression personality come through there.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. By the way, I have these guys right here. Obviously, I'm LA. There's my buddy, my guy, Kobe. I love Kobe because there's that's actually Kobe Bryant right there. That's who the Mamba is. You can see that. Look, that says the Mamba.
Cool.
Right. That's Kobe.
I can see.
But the comeback story.
I even have my glasses on.
Woo! There's an incredible comeback, and of course Jordan. Come on. That guy is the guy right there. That guy I grew up with, so I love him.
Where is he?
He's
work that finger, buddy. Work that finger.
Work it. There it is.
There
it is. But thank you, Peter. This was great. It was fun. Thank you for being my first guest. And thank you, everybody who just made it tonight. Anybody who said anything in the chat, I love that. That's why I get it. That's why people do this. And by the way, I want to share this. This is I love This person was on my podcast a couple sessions ago. She says, it's Q Hatch. She said, people always need good mental health tips. They'll get the best from me? Whoa! Yes! I love that! Thank you, Q. That's amazing. Yep, and Kelly knows what it's all about. Kelly knows it's about number 23. Number 23, baby. That's right. Thank you, guys.
Checks in the mail.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Check out Peter's Friday night. Hey, I'm there just about 99.999% of the time. That's kind of why I like to come home and chill. That's my way to relax, Peter. And I don't know if you know this, Peter, but it's usually you and a cigar. That's kind of my time, on Friday night. Chill time, so thank you, Peter. And thank you, everyone, for hitting that like button, subscribe. Definitely hit the notification because I'm going to start putting these out. And I would love to get a little bit of that community as well. If we can create a supportive community like Peter's on Friday night, what an awesome thing that would be, right? I mean, we all need more encouragement and support, especially with the way all the things are going right now and today, right? I mean, we have a crazy time. Oh, by the way, I guess I better mention this because Chris is on it. Yes, we have a podcast. It's called The Recovery Junkies. So it's on Spotify. It's on Apple, iTunes. Get on, and you can find that. This is our third season. We're coming up on our third season already and doing these. And
third season?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been killing
Holy
that.
moly.
That's fun. In fact, we've had some great, Chris and I do that together, and then Q was on it with us, and we have some other gals who are on it with us too, because we like to get male-female perspective on the stuff that we're talking about. If it's just me and Chris, it's just us guys. But we like to get the female perspective as well.
Break out the cards, some potato chips.
There you go, cards, potato chips. So, thank you,
start
everyone.
Your shows with I'm listening.
Yes. Hey, I like that. That's good. Love
I'm
it.
listening. Dr. Fraser Crane.
That was a great show. That was a great show, by the way. Okay, Peter, this is one down. Okay, you and I are going to do it again.
God
right?
bless you, buddy.
We're doing it again. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.